jungle.
Breaking, it's time to fire Jeff Sessions. Washington, Attorney General Jeff Sessions is going after legalized marijuana. Sessions is rescinding a policy that had let legalized marijuana flourish without federal intervention across the country, Fox News reports. Read the following and at the end, I would like to know your opinion of what you read and your thoughts on the topic. January rolled in 2018 and with it, the passing of new laws, and some of these laws are controversial to say the least. In California, for instance, the new marijuana laws that rang in with the new year, allow residents who are 21 and over to have an ounce on legally on them as well as home grow up to 6 plants. Thursday, AG Sessions is expected to publicly announce that he is going after marijuana and the laws that have made it legal in 29 states. This move to strike down legal marijuana will leave it in the hands of U.S. attorneys to decide in each state if it is legal or if federal laws will be enforced. According to Fox News, Attorney General Sessions fully believes that marijuana is the same as LSD. Regardless of what you think of Sessions, the truth is that he is wrong, and nobody should be allowed to cover narcotic and drug laws if they do not fully understand each category. Drug facts: LSD is a semi-synthetic psychedelic drug which originates from ergot, a type of grain fungus that typically grows on rye and is the most widely known of the hallucinogenic drugs. Marijuana is not a narcotic, it is a naturally growing plant species. Although California law calls it a narcotic, it is pharmacologically distinct from the family of opium derivatives and synthetic narcotics. Attorney General Jeff Sessions also believes that marijuana is just as deadly as heroin, which shows a complete lack of understanding of drug abuse and overdoses in the United States. Public health officials have called the current heroin, opiate, epidemic the worst drug crisis in American history, killing more than 33,000 people in 2015. Overdose deaths were nearly equal to the number of deaths from car crashes. In 2015, for the first time, deaths from heroin alone surpassed gun homicides. Heroin and marijuana are nothing alike. Heroin is violently addictive and has a high rate of overdose and deaths. Heroin dealers have been lacing their heroin with fentanyl, which is an extremely powerful man-made opiate that's used to treat people experiencing severe pain or for managing pain symptoms after surgery. Fentanyl is a painkiller that's highly potent and at least 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine. Fentanyl is dangerous enough by itself when misused or abused, and when combining it with heroin or cocaine, the painkiller can become lethal. As New York Times reported, drug dealers found a new way to get drug users even more addicted and hooked till death. Carfentanil is a drug used to sedate elephants and other large animals, 100 times as potent as the fentanyl already escalating the country's heroin troubles, is suspected in spate of overdoses in several states, where authorities say they've found it mixed with or passed off as heroin. Marijuana has over 10,000 medicinal purposes, has been proven to fight and kill cancer in patients as well as helping military combat vets who suffer from PTSD. People have their own opinions of marijuana. A lot of bad information is out there on the internet, rumors about it being a gateway drug and overdoses run rampant through uneducated people. You do not have to like it, you do not have to use it, but you need to know the facts and be educated in it. My 2 cents on it might offend some and might make others angry. Seriously, I do not give a duck fart either way. Marijuana in its natural state as a plant should be legal to grow and use for medicinal purposes. When people lace it or change the plant by synthetic means to create a super THC plant, that should be illegal. Think about people who suffer from insomnia, for example. Smoking it to aid in sleep should be legal so long as it is natural and not a synthetic THC plant. I am curious about your thoughts on this topic. Agree or disagree? CBS News released the following information, which gives a brief history of the legal and illegal laws over marijuana in California. The state banned loco weed in 1913, According to a history by the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, the pot advocacy group known as NORML. The first attempt to undo that by voter initiative in 1972 failed, but 3 years later felony possession of less than an ounce was downgraded to a misdemeanor. In 1996, over the objections of law enforcement, President Clinton's drug czar and 3 former presidents, California voters approved marijuana for medicinal purposes. 20 years later, voters approved legal recreational use and gave the state a year to write regulations for a legal market that would open in 2018. Today, 29 states have adopted medical marijuana laws. In 2012, Colorado and Washington became the first states to legalize recreational marijuana. Since then, 5 more states have passed recreational marijuana laws, including Massachusetts, where retail sales are scheduled to begin in July.